Hello guys, welcome back. Konnichiwa. Herzlich willkommen. So my friends, update here on advanced micro devices, aka AMD. Yeah, my friends, I'm bearish on AMD. I can say that from the beginning here in this video, and I will explain why we have here this price move from yesterday we had more than 30% plus for AMD came down a little bit. I will explain you why this was a calculated move and why I'm bearish on AMD. Everything what I say here is not financial advice. This is my opinion based on the chart. First of all, guys, when I'm saying I'm bearish, I don't mean here in a long term. I just mean at the actual price levels, I personally would not buy AMD stock. If we talk about here lower price ranges, $90, $100 here in that range, guys, yes, I think that is a good opportunity right now for AMD. But at these price levels here, I would not buy, even it looks everything super bullish. The reason for that is because the stock market is quite overboard, and I think that we already building a top in the stock market right now. The same for crypto. Before we see something like a correction or even something like a market crash. Usually when we talk about market crash, the stock indexes correct about 20-30%. That would be indeed a bear market which will last a couple of months. If we just talk about the correction, it's a little bit less. I made some videos here on my channel about that. Let's now talk about AMD, why I'm not surprised here by this price move. So we start first with the indicators before I show you my drawings, guys. The reason why I'm not so bullish, or at least I stopped here the chart at the 15th of August. That was my last update for AMD. And we had here on the RSI indicator, this is, by the way, guys, here my own RSI indicator, the RSI Ultimate indicator. Everything is available here in the video description. All indicators which you see here, I will show you all the details are available in the video description. And we had here some bearish alert, bear attack signal on the daily RSI. And some down gaps here in the weekly chart as well. That was the reason why I'm still bearish on AMD. On the other hand, guys, as I said, I stopped the video here 15th of August. That was my last update. And I said that we have here still two open gaps to fill. One open gap was or is waiting during that time here, August, at $188. And the second one, the highest open gap which AMD has in the daily chart, is waiting at $205. So what usually the market makers do, they create some FOMO, they create some hype, huge squeezes in one day to fill those gaps, a gap up overnight to fill those gaps before they start push the stock down here in the low price range. So as I said, I was bearish here, but I said there is a potential, of course, that we close these gaps before we sell off. So let's now see what the chart is doing here since my last update. I press play here on TradingView, and then we follow up with the next price levels. So by the way, guys, the orange lines which you see here are open gaps to the downside. So this gap indicator pro is showing you always the closest gaps based on the actual price to the up and downside. And you can see that we already start to fill some of these open gaps. Let's see what happened again. So we have now 4 open up gaps. So there was also one open up gap. Now we have an open up gap at $174, the second one at $188, and the last one at $205 in the daily chart. So let's press play again. Just focus on the green lines, guys. These are the open gaps. And now there you go, guys. And this is what the market makers do. They created this gap up here to close all open gaps. So you can see the green lines are now invisible, and instead of the green lines, we have here some green boxes, and that means that those open up gaps have been filled. So even the price is gapping up overnight. That counts as a gap close here. And that means, guys, that AMD has no more open up gaps to the upside. The algos usually fill all the open gaps. You can see that here in the history of the chart. That's why these indicators, guys, are so helpful. All the green boxes which you see here are open gaps to the upside. So when AMD dipped down here at $74, you can see that it step by step start to close all the open up gaps here, including now with the yesterday's price action, the highest open gap at $205. What is the result on that, guys? The result is that we have no more open up gaps. We are here almost at a new all-time high. I would not be surprised when AMD is building a new all-time high. No, we didn't have a new all-time high yet, but I think we could see a new all-time high still this year. This is possible. However, guys, this is a bear zone here. The last time when we had more or less the exact same price action, I will zoom in for you and we can switch off everything here for a second, that you just focus on the candles. So the last time when we had this huge gap up, yeah, huge bull pressure, yeah, everybody think, wow, AMD, this is the best buy right now. You can see that here in just a couple of days, guys, in just a couple of days, AMD gained here in total 40%, which is huge for a stock with $330 billion market capital. And that was the beginning of the end, guys. You can see after this gap up, AMD just tanked down. And when we measure that, guys, for a second here, the bear market started and then AMD lost in total here 66% of its value, guys. And that's the same situation and where we are right now. We have here a lot of gap ups. Yeah, you can see that here. Now we have all the down gaps here waiting at 170 US dollar, $147, $140 US dollar, and so on. This is what I can tell you, guys. By the way, so we enable now the charts that you also can follow up my drawings. What I also do, guys, I try to predict short squeezes. Yeah, of course, you can use these indicators to watch these charts by yourself, but I always research the market for short squeeze and breakout stocks. And one of the most significant squeezes which we had here in the last couple of weeks was this ticker here. WLDS was one of my hot stocks here on Patreon. And I mentioned that ticker here already in May 2025, guys. That was already here on my radar, and I already mentioned to my members where the trading zones are. And we can see that also here the RSI Ultimate Indicator made here a bull alert. So there was already some sign that the bull's coming in. The Squeeze Calendar Pro Indicator predicted the 10th of September here for a squeeze. And guys, this ticker squeezed at the 10th of September more than 690% in total. So it is possible to predict short squeezes if you have the right tools and some knowledge. And if you don't have, guys, I always present here my short squeeze and breakout stocks on Patreon. If you want, you can join us here. The full package membership gives you access to all my content on Patreon, including breakout stocks, short squeeze stocks predictions, and of course my trading tutorials, member FAQ section. We have a huge community waiting for you guys. If you want to join in, the link patreon.com/blackbelttrader is also available in the video description. So let's follow up the drawings. Where is the top for AMD? What do I expect here based on the chart? I will switch off the indicators now and we only focus on the drawings, guys. AMD has right now just one final end boss, one final enemy, and that is this red trend channel here, guys. I hope you can see that. I will mark that a little bit more visible. This is the trend channel pattern for AMD. And as soon as we touch the top of this trend channel pattern, we will see a huge sell-off correction, in my opinion, not financial advice. What we can see is that we gapped up yesterday here. We had a huge gap up. I think it was 37% or even more. Yeah, 38% in total. And we touched the middle line here of this trend channel. So there is still some room to go. And as I said before, all gaps have been filled. So I will delete now this green line here from my chart since we have no more open up gaps. So that means based on this trend channel pattern, AMD has still room to go, I would say, to $245, $246, $250, depending here on the day. But guys, everything here in this red box is a bear territory. Yeah? So do what you want, make your own due diligence. I am not bearish in a long term on AMD, but right now I would never FOMO in and buy a stock for this price here, guys. This is what I can show you. For everybody who is invested here, the main algo supply zone is 164 US dollar. That means that the bears will try to bring the price below 164 US dollar. As long as AMD stays above 164 US dollar, we have still the potential to get here to see new all-time highs in 2025. This is also, by the way, guys, exactly the reason why we have here two gap ups in a row. You can see that here the first gap up happened exactly when we came above this price level. The second gap up again, guys, and now with this price move, we have again, after a retest of $164, again a massive gap up to the upside. So here is the zone where the algos are waiting, and keep that in mind. This is not a bullish support. It can act as a squeeze trigger. The algos use the pre and after market here to push the price up or down. Keep in mind, we could see the same happening again here if the market makers turn bearish on AMD. My friends, that was my update. As I said before, all indicators are available in the video description. Also the link for the full package membership on Patreon. If you want to see more AMD videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. I thank you so much for your loyal support, guys. I really appreciate that. Have fun, guys, and see you in the next video. Arigatou gozaimasu. Vielen Dank, alles Gute und bis zum nächsten Video. Take care. Bye bye, guys.